So, most coaches are using ChatGPT completely wrong for their marketing and then blaming the tool when it spits out something generic and useless. But the problem isn't ChatGPT, the problem is how you're talking to it. The key to getting great ChatGPT prompts for marketing your coaching business is this: stop asking vague questions and start giving ChatGPT the context it needs to actually help you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that, including the 5 rules that turn mediocre prompts into ones that save you hours every week, and the specific prompt categories that work best for coaches. And I saved my single favorite technique for later in the video, because it's the one thing that completely changed how I use AI for my business. So, let me start with why most coaches get frustrated. They open ChatGPT, type something like, "Write me a social media post about coaching," and get back the blandest, most generic paragraph you've ever read. Then they try again with, "Write me an Instagram caption," and get something that sounds like it was written by a robot pretending to be a motivational poster. And then they close the tab and say, "AI doesn't work for coaches." But that's like handing someone a blank piece of paper and saying, "Write me something good," with zero other information. Of course, the result is going to be terrible. ChatGPT is only as good as what you give it. And most coaches give it almost nothing to work with. So let me walk you through the 5 rules that fix this. The first rule is to involve ChatGPT in your thinking process, not just your output. Most coaches treat ChatGPT like a vending machine. You put in a request and get back finished copy. But it's actually much better as a brainstorming partner. Instead of asking it to write your email, ask it to analyze a marketing email that performed well and tell you why it worked. Ask it to break down a marketing funnel for your specific coaching niche. Use it to think through your campaign before you start creating anything. The second rule is to get painfully specific. Write a social media post about coaching gives you garbage. But write an Instagram caption about why health coaches should stop offering free discovery calls in a casual and slightly provocative tone, aimed at certified coaches who've been in business for at least 2 years. That gives you something you can actually use. The difference is night and day, and it takes maybe 30 extra seconds to type. The third rule is to share every relevant detail about your business. Tell ChatGPT your niche, your target audience, their biggest pain points, what packages you offer, what makes you different from other coaches. The more it knows about your specific coaching business, the more tailored its suggestions will be. Think of it this way. You wouldn't hire a marketing assistant and then refuse to tell them anything about your business. So don't do that with ChatGPT either. Now, the fourth rule is the one most coaches completely skip, and it's actually the most important for getting copy that sounds like you. Train ChatGPT on your brand voice. You can tell it your voice is casual but authoritative, or warm and encouraging, or direct and no nonsense. But even better than describing your voice is showing it. Paste in a few paragraphs of something you've written before that really sounds like you, whether that's a newsletter, a social post, or even a client email, and tell ChatGPT to match that tone. The results are dramatically better when you do this. And the fifth rule is simple but critical. Revise and iterate. Your first prompt is almost never going to give you exactly what you want. That's normal. The magic happens when you give ChatGPT feedback, tell it, "Make this shorter," or less formal, or focus more on the pain point and less on the solution. Each round gets closer to what you actually need. Don't settle for the first draft, because the tool is designed for back and forth conversation. So now you've got the rules, let me give you the actual prompts that work best for coaches. I've grouped these into 6 categories, and I'll share my favorites from each one. For brand identity, one of the most useful prompts is asking ChatGPT to describe the characteristics and interests of your target audience for your specific coaching niche. This is gold for clarifying your messaging, because ChatGPT will often surface pain points and desires you hadn't thought of. Another great one is asking it to craft a memorable tagline after you've fed it your specialization and the types of services you offer. For campaign development, try asking ChatGPT to describe a marketing funnel that converts free signups into paying customers for your specific coaching product. Or ask it to create a storyboard for an email sequence selling your coaching package. These strategic prompts are where ChatGPT really shines because it can map out an entire campaign structure that would take you hours to plan on your own. For content marketing, I love asking it to create a full content plan for a specific platform. So instead of give me post ideas, try create a 30-day LinkedIn content plan for a career coaching service, including post topics, content types, and suggested hashtags. That one prompt gives you an entire month of content to work with. For website and blog copy, the prompts I use most are asking for multiple headline variations and hero section copy. Getting 10 headline ideas from ChatGPT takes seconds, and at least 2 or 3 of them are usually strong starting points. I use Paperbell for my coaching website, and when I was setting up my package pages, I asked ChatGPT to write short descriptions for each of my services. It gave me a solid first draft that I then tweaked to sound more like me. For email marketing, and this is one I use all the time because Paperbell handles my scheduling and payments, but I still need to market myself. My go-to prompt is asking ChatGPT to create a full email sequence storyboard. Give it the product you're selling, who it's for, and the transformation it provides, and it'll map out a 5 or 7 email sequence with subject lines and the emotional arc of each message. I also use it for subject lines constantly because it can generate 10 options in seconds, and at least a few will be better than whatever I would have come up with on my own. And for public relations, which most coaches never think about, try asking ChatGPT to suggest article topics you could pitch to coaching publications or to draft a pitch email to a podcast host. These prompts open up marketing channels that most coaches ignore entirely. Now, here's the technique I mentioned at the beginning, the one that completely changed my approach. I call it the brain dump technique, and it's the opposite of how most people use ChatGPT. Instead of asking ChatGPT to come up with expertise for you, you dump everything you already know about a topic into the chat first. So if I'm writing a blog post about coaching packages, I don't ask ChatGPT to tell me about coaching packages. I paste in my own notes, my own framework, my own client stories, and then I ask ChatGPT to organize that into a blog post outline or turn it into an email sequence or pull out the 3 strongest points for a social media post. This is the difference between generic AI content that sounds like everyone else and content that actually has your unique perspective baked in. ChatGPT becomes the organizer and editor of your ideas, not the creator of them. And that's when the output goes from, meh, I could have written that, to, wow, this actually sounds like me, and it took a quarter of the time. The reason this works so well is that ChatGPT's biggest weakness, its inability to think with real human experience, gets completely bypassed when you feed it your experience first. You're supplying the expertise and the unique perspective, while ChatGPT handles the structure and the polish. So here's what I want you to do this week. Pick one marketing task you've been putting off, whether it's writing your website bio, planning next month's content, or drafting an email sequence for a new package. Open ChatGPT, and before you ask it anything, spend 5 minutes dumping everything you know about that topic into the chat. Your framework, your opinions, your client results, all of it. Then give it a specific prompt using the 5 rules we covered. I promise the result will be completely different from anything you've gotten from ChatGPT before. And if you want to set up your coaching packages, your website, and your entire booking flow so clients can find you, pay you, and schedule with you all in one place, I use Paperbell for all of that. You can try it for free with your first client, and I'll drop the link in the description.